not just, like, I'm talking roaming from level 1. Like, his Bounty Hunter, his Tusk, his Earthshaker, those are his keys. He's very good at seeing openings on the map. So already I'm liking MVP Hot 6 draft more.
Okay.
This time they have, there's more of a clear idea of what they want to do. They have a good lane dominator in Queen of Pain who Bounty can gank for. There's a lot of potential for her to become a mid-game power hero here with the track gold. Now they just need a solid carry and to play more of a standard game, because honestly in their games it hasn't been the execution that's been lacking that much. I feel it's just been the strategizing and their draft.
And Queen of Pain is one of those spell casting heroes which is in general not one-dimensional.
Yes,
there you go.
That is true.
Yeah. You dominate the lane, you're very good in the late game, you're good early game. In general, just really good throughout the game.
So Hot 6 should overall be feeling a lot more comfortable this time around. They can still work with what they've got. They're not pushed into one corner. Bloodseeker, Virtus Pro picks it up this time around after the Naga.
Oh, they're going to ban the carry silencer.
Okay. We've brought this up a couple times. The possibility of VP running.
Yeah, but when you ban silencer, it's like you want to pick something that silencer directly counters most of the time.
Phoenix.
Well, that's why we see Storm ban out instantly from Virtus Pro as well.
Yeah, Storm as well. Storm is really weak against silencer, and to a certain extent, I feel Husker is also weak against silencer because silencer is pure damage. He deals pure damage.
Nice mustache, G. Now he's eating it. Okay.
Does everybody use the same headsets? Hygiene issue.
All right. Well, VP overall looking pretty relaxed since the end of game 1. But Hot 6, I mean,
the next ban would probably give it away though.
Okay.
If they would go for Husker, you mean?
Yeah.
They will get
but
the
they
first
know
pick
that, so they would
afterwards.
ban something else instead.
They ban Darks here. Usually we say Brood after that, but Hot 6 doesn't play Brood.
I mean, Hot 6 does have last pick, so in terms of surprise last pick, having the Husker option still open.
Yeah, definitely.
Still a possibility.
It's not very good versus the Bloodseeker Rupture, since if you jump around...
But you want to stand still anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if he gets you before you cast your ultimate, or during when you're casting your ultimate, then you will take a lot of damage.
Can you cast it during?
Oh,
You're
actually,
invulnerable while you fly, right?
before. I should say before.
But still, even then, like even if you don't get the Rupture off, Bloodright is pure damage. Naga Siren is, even though she is more of a, if it's being played as a core position for Virtus Pro, which we don't know yet, she can still definitely, with multiple illusions, it's difficult for Husker. He's not good against illusion-based heroes. He can't really kill them very fast, and they do have decent physical damage as well. So, especially now with Alina being an Axe Scepter, that is
it's very discouraging to pick the Husker from now.
That I would be shocked if they pick it, actually.
And it's probably going to be a G Lina as well, so
yeah,
there will be an Axe.
Or, no, it might... Do they... When they pick Bloodseeker, it's G and mid, right? So it's probably support Lina, actually, this time.
DK Phobos sometimes plays it too.
The offlane Bloodseeker?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been not as much as G though. I mean, let's get that straight. But sometimes there has been games, I believe.
Well, both of the heroes actually have a decent matchup against Queen of Pain, one-on-one. So they have the flexibility of waiting to see how the lanes are going to shape up for Hot 6, who will now pick Clockwork. Once again, their draft is way more solid than last game. I would love to see an actual hard carry here, or maybe an active carry who joins fights, such as the Slark, which... I don't think that was on stream. We talked about that winter, but you consider Slark and Bloodseeker, they like counter each other, whereas most people think Bloodseeker is just flat out a Slark counter.
It sort of works both ways, because as a Slug, if you find the Bloodseeker, you can kill him very easily. And obviously people talk about, when it's Slug versus Bloodseeker, people always talk about, oh, you can't regen when you're low against a Bloodseeker because of how his passive interacts with you. But then again, when a Slug catches a Bloodseeker out, there's nothing much a Bloodseeker can do, because there's the ultimate from the Slug, so you just can't do anything against him, and he can use Dark Pact to take away the silence from the Bloodright as well.
Alright.
I'm feeling the Phantom.
6.
Do you think Phantom Lancer could be something good here for Hot 6?
I feel like Bloodseeker can, and Naga as well, can fairly easily counter the Phantom Lancer. I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised to see maybe something like a Lycan instead, a hero that is not going to fight at all.
They need someone that carries very hard.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Either very hard or just for protect one.
I think picking Lycan into Bloodseeker and Naga is...
It is not ideal, but at the same time, they will be able to fight with the other 4 and create the space.
Yeah, but if that's the approach they take, maybe they would be looking to something like an anti-mage instead. If they're expecting
True.
it to be a core Lina,
True.
it's... I don't know, there's multiple ways of looking at it. I do want to say I like the Chaos Knight ban a lot. Virtus.pro have picked it this tournament, and they rolled over their opponent in that game with the Chaos Knight. And if you look at MVP Hot 6's lineup, yes, they've got some decent AoE damage with the Queen of Pain, but Disruptor, not really that great with Static Storm, because you can usually get around it with Chaos Knight, at least some of the illusions. And they're going to last pick the Ember, which...
All right.
I like this a lot more. Like, definitely a way better draft from Hot 6. They can fight, they can... Again, their push, their win condition, maybe not the easiest to execute here. No obvious base pusher, but at the very least, they can go late this time.
Yeah, they have very good base defense, very good split push, and when they're trading kills, like if you look at what Virtus.pro have a very fighting-orientated lineup as well. Like if you're trading 1 for 1, 2 for 2, you have Bounty Hunter, you're going to be smiling at the end of the day. So it's a really good way of dealing what VP have, and the Ember... The only thing is the Ember is going to have a tough time in the lane, I feel. He might have a tough time in the lane, but other than that, I think overall MVP's Hot 6 draft is overall better than what we have seen.
An improvement from what we've seen in the past.
Improvement is always good.
Yeah.
And Illidan Lina, by the way.
Yep.
So that would be
Oh
interesting
no,
to see.
he went the Bloodstone plus Octarine.
His build yesterday on the Lina, I did not like. And so I've said this.
We were talking about this.
I've said this on a couple of casts. In the past, I've felt like Illidan has made some really questionable item builds as well as skill builds. For example, his No Breathe Fire Dragon Knight. I think of the past that he doesn't do anymore, but he did believe in it at the time. And over the last few months, I felt like, wow, Illidan is one of the most improved players over the last year. He plays a really solid carry role. I've pretty much every single time been on board with his builds and everything, including his kind of innovative silencer build. His Lina build yesterday, I was not a fan for the first time in quite a while. What was it? It was Bloodstone, Octarine, Yules. Yules is good. And Maelstrom next. So, and it was not against illusion-based heroes. Weird build.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if he continues to try that out and see if he can prove that it's an innovation or maybe a bit of a flop, and he'll fix that as we go forward. Game 2 has started. MVP Hot 6 versus VP Hot 6, really fighting for 1 extra point in Group B.
I'm kind of casually getting to that level where I'm the new Storm Spirit shape. But it's like
maybe that's why I've grown out the beard to look like Earthshaker.
Yeah, if they decide that they're suddenly we're actually on the mainstream now.
Yeah, welcome everybody from the mainstream. We're just talking about how players like to look like their heroes.
Yeah, so that's why if he gets abs, I have to start. I got to start doing crunches or something like that. But
make it happen, Valve. Make it so Storm Spirit is super ripped. So Blitz has to get ripped as well.
Yeah. Do you see? So Forev is going to be playing the Ember Spirit. It's just one of those heroes that he's so closely tied with. Like, for me, Ember Spirit, it's either Ferrari or Forev. Like, for a lot of people, it's going to be different, but from my experiences that I remember not too fondly, it's the Forev Ember Spirit.
Virtus.pro going to set up on the top bounty rune, and we will have the typical trade-off. Rev gets one, Bloodseeker gets the other. So Gun's going to be playing the mid Bloodseeker here. They're not going to be putting the Lina up against the Ember Spirit. Why is that? Because Lina does very well versus Ember Spirit, especially those first couple of levels. Flame Guard can't protect him at all.
I think the Lina just pairs well with the Naga Siren, because if Lil just gets a level of Ensnare early, you're almost guaranteeing yourself a kill. It's just a good setup, and I think G feels like if he's against the Queen of Pain or the Ember, he's pretty confident. The thing, though, that Forev is going to love about this lane is that there's almost nothing that can pop his Flame Guard.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to be really satisfied to know that, and so both of them should get farm, I think. Like, this is a lane that I think both of them will succeed in, and they'll do fine.
Yeah, just kind of the bounty hunter factor that may be different. Jerix, well, that was actually a trade-off there. FNG and Jerix both kill each other's counter wards that were set up, and there is another counter ward sitting here in the middle lane. Now, it looks like FNG is going to try and protect God as much as possible. Our top lane is, of course, that Lina Naga Siren lane that we're talking about.
All right, they just keep eating each other's wards.
Back and forth. All right, so they finally keep one ward. FNG now keeps the one counter ward up.
He won the war.
He did.
Did he have... No, he had 3?
So Jerix is now going to head up to the top lane.
Yeah, this is the better thing for him to do. He knows he's given up on that war. He's lost that. It's better to just help out Sunbi right now, because you can pressure the Naga and the Lina. Like, they're going to go for him right here and just try to do some damage.
If they manage to get the cogs, yeah, they actually grabbed a great play there from Sunbi, bringing it back inside the cogs. Now, they won't be able to kill him, or at least very unlikely. Lil's going to have to eat through some trees, but they do get a lot of good harassment out. Jerix Just puts that Orb of Venom on him one more time. But yeah, this sort of dual lane situation, this is actually one of, I feel like one of the best uses of the Bounty Hunter as a roaming hero is to shut down the supports that are trying to kick back the offlaner, especially in dual lane scenarios.
Oh, for sure. The thing is, there's a lot of bounty players, they just decide to camp mid and go non-stop at that and try to force it to work no matter what. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, if they have a sentry there, then I'll try to snipe the courier or something along those lines. And I think that's the wrong idea to have. Like, you eventually have to just swap lanes and guarantee yourself some levels. Because if you're a level 1 bounty hunter at 6 minutes in, what are you actually going to accomplish for your team?
Brev takes some damage here, the hold of the Frostbite and a couple of right clicks out from the Bloodseeker. I'm trying to think here. There's not too many heroes that are... Yeah, I guess Sunbee's a little bit low. And same goes, Bounty Hunter was missing some HP earlier. They got to really make sure that doesn't happen. You've seen teams, like when they're playing against a Bloodseeker, specifically carry like a lot of healing salves just to make sure everyone is healthy.
That's pretty absurd, her win rate. Even before TI, she had a 60% win rate. Now she's got a 79% win rate, and in mid lane, they're not going to be able to get out of this Blood Right. They're both going to get hit by it, and G might actually just decide to go for this, but I guess he was afraid that somebody might rotate in, but they're getting really low, and Forev actually didn't even have any mana.
Yeah, Jerix actually has no HP regeneration. Same thing goes for Rev. So this is a huge lead now for G. He definitely read this lane very well and saw that he was going to be able to win it. He just gets a slight advantage and really starts using his physical damage to put pressure on the Ember Spirit. If you don't funnel a lot of regeneration to yourself, it's a rather easy kill after kill.
Yeah, and Jerix is actually really low right now, and he's afraid to even go for that Siege Wagon, because he has Shadow Walk still on cooldown, and he'd probably die for that.
Well, they get the ensnare here. Light Strike Array will land on Sunbee. He takes a lot of damage, but he really got the crucial cogs to push back Lil that allows him to survive. If that Naga Siren had actually gotten in range, even just an